Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the video where I want to talk about 4K versus Full HD and when you should choose 4K and in what scenarios you should choose Full HD. So if this is a topic that has always puzzled you, it is something that I want to address in today's video, something that I want to talk to you guys about, something that I wanted to share a little knowledge that I have and I think is great when it comes to real world shooting scenarios and scenarios where you can kind of use 4K and where you can use full HD. So a lot of clients do come to us and they ask us to shoot full HD, or some people come to us and they ask us to shoot 4K. Now, one very common thing to ask your client when they ask you that is what platform do they want to showcase the video on. So if it is a commercial client and they have a lot of knowledge about the content and the platform that they want to use, so they may actually require 4K, but some clients, for example, which could be wedding clients or smaller events, they might not really understand what 4K is and that it requires a lot of processing power to even view the files. So whether you've got a 4K TV or whether you've got a 4K laptop or a 4K phone compatible or playing 4K is a question that you need to ask your client for one. 4K and HD are both great, but 4K is much higher. It's about 4 times higher than regular full high definition video. So you need to understand that. The second thing that I want to talk about is talk about editing. Now, when you're shooting in 4K, it's fine to just switch over the camera to 4K video settings and start shooting straight up into 4K and shooting into HD. But when you get into editing, you need to realize that 4K uses a lot of processing power comparatively to full HD, and HD can work with about 8 gigs of RAM on regular spec computers and stuff like that. But when it comes to 4K, you require a lot of GPU processing, you require a lot of CPU processing, you require a lot of RAM and cache memory to kind of give you a lag-free editing experience. So you need to check the specs of your editing workspace to see if they are compatible with 4K editing. That's the third thing. A benefit of 4K would be if you do not have a tele lens and you want to shoot a slight zoomed image, you can shoot in 4K, and if your final render is in HD, you can crop the part out that you want and bring it closer, because you can get like a 4 times crop if you're shooting in 4K. But that being said, that file will be considerably heavier than all the other HD files that you are shooting. But if you do want to cut in and you do want to zoom to a certain part, you can use 4K to crop a certain part that you want to shoot if your final render is in HD. Another thing to consider and another thing to know is the file size. The file size of 4K is much higher than regular HD. So if you do not have the processing power or the memory capacity on your computer or on the storage medium that you have, shooting in 4K is gonna burn your memory a lot. So you need to see that you do have enough of storage when it comes to 4K. So 4K has a lot of benefits, but it is a very heavy file and it requires a lot of storage space and a lot of processing power to consider shooting 4K or consider shooting HD. So depending on the scenario and depending on the kind of work that you work with, you need to realize when you need to shoot 4K and when you need to shoot full HD. So those are the first 4 pointers that I wanted to talk about. The fifth pointer that I wanted to talk about is resolution and frame rate. So frame rate is basically the amount of frames per second that your camera captures. It can be, you have numbers like 24, 25, 30, 60, 120, 240 and higher than that. A lot of cameras give you the ability to shoot high frame rates at only HD and not at 4K. A lot of newer cameras like the GH5, the Panasonic GH5, what else has it? The GoPro Hero 6 has 60 frames at 4K, and cameras like this that have 60 frames at 4K, so you can bring it down to 30 frames and get slow motion, like 50% slow motion. But generally most cameras like the Sony 6500 series, 6300, the A7S, and stuff like that, they give you the ability to shoot 4K but not high frame rates at 4K, and only at HD. So if you want to shoot content where you're using slow motion, it's better to shoot at HD because you'll have the ability to push that frame rate up so that you can use slow-mo in your post-production. I hope that these 5 pointers were useful, helpful, and points that would help you the next time you're shooting and choosing between 4K and full HD. I hope this is something that is helpful to you guys. If there are any queries you have with regard to 4K and full HD, leave it up in the comments and I will reply to it. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content in my channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more regular content. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video, guys. Bye bye.